Chapter 3483. No, please don't. And shook his head resolutely. Why not? If the distance between you and Dr. Hua is like the distance between the sky and the sea, then the distance between me and Lu Yan is like the distance between a human and a god. It's not something that can be solved with a meal. Whoa, you're even using words, right? What kind of human and god are you talking about? So you thought it was a bit exaggerated. Of course, so you didn't know Lu Yan's identity, although Lu Yan didn't ask An to keep it a secret. But An didn't tell anyone about Lu Yan's identity. After all, in their line of work they could lose their heads at any time. The more people who knew, the more danger they would be in. Forget it, President Su. I know my limits. From now on, Lu Yan will be my idol forever. Really? She's just a little girl. Why do you admire her? Su looked at An in amusement. He felt that An was acting weird today, like Su Jima, who was heartbroken, talking about the distance between the sky and the sea and the distance between a human and a god. Okay, President Su, I want to be alone. Su, this is my office. So you didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Then I'll go out and not disturb you. If you go out, who will protect me? What if those female artists rush in and molest me? So you teased and then just do it. You won't lose anything anyway. Saying this, and got up and left. Damn it. That's not funny. Is Mayan really in love this time? She was used to seeing Xiao and being tricked by those scheming bitches on WeChat or the people nearby. Su didn't know if he was serious this time, but An was very depressed. At South Hill Manor, Huamin and the twins were eating the cake that the maid had just baked downstairs. It was a happy scene. Qin Chu got off work and changed his clothes. When he walked downstairs, he ran into Lu Yan at the stairs. Brother-in-law, it's time to get off work. Lu Yan was about to go downstairs when she bumped into Qin Chu. She immediately greeted him with a smile. Yes. Xiaoyan, did you do that to Han Su's wife? Yeah. Lu Yan nodded. I heard about the incident in the afternoon. Brother-in-law, do you think I went too far? Lu Yan was curious and didn't understand Qin Chu's attitude. No, I think you've been merciful enough. That woman had a death wish. Luckily your sister is fine. If anything happened to Mian and the baby, I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to vent my anger even if I killed their entire family. Hee, don't worry. I won't let anything happen to my sister, Lu Yan said confidently. When are you leaving? How did you know that? Lu Yan looked at Qin Chu in surprise. Your subordinates have all retreated, one after another. Yeah, I'm planning to go to Thailand. Psycho Chiao is waiting for me there. Call me if you need anything. Lu Yan understood that Qin Chu meant money, connections and manpower when he said anything. Okay, brother-in-law will. Don't work so hard. Remember to come back and see your little nephew. Then Qin Chu turned around and went downstairs. His back looked cold and aloof. What he said just now was out of concern for Lu Yan. Lu Yan, the hard-working mother, used to have no one to rely on. But now she had Huamin, the twins, and Huamin's baby. All of a sudden he had so many close relatives. That kind of satisfaction was something that could not be expressed with words. At this moment Lu Yan's watch rang. She lowered her head and pressed the answer button. Chapter 3484. Boss. Sup. Young Master Chiao wants to know when you'll arrive in Thailand. Tomorrow morning. I'll leave here in the middle of the night. I should be there before dawn. Okay, boss. See you then. Lu Yan turned off her watch and went downstairs. And come and eat the cake. I saved a big piece for you, Little Bean called out to Lu Yan from afar. Okay. Lu Yan ran to him happily. Auntie, we have a piano performance in school in a few days. Can you, Mommy and Daddy, go and watch it? Lu Yan didn't have the heart to refuse. You two can play the piano so well. Do you still need to show off? Huamin chuckled. Of course. Otherwise those seniors will think we're good for nothings. We must show them our skills, Little Bean said. I agree. We must show them who's boss. Those pretentious girls. Pudding agreed with her sister, which was rare for her. You two little girls know how to scheme at such a young age. What will you do when you grow up? Lu Yan pinched Little Bean's chubby cheeks lovingly. Then she turned around and touched Pudding's earlobe. It was obvious that she had feelings for the two little girls. Little Bean, you must eat less cake and control your diet to maintain your figure, Lu Yan said. I'll try my best. Little Bean looked reluctant. Pudding, you still have a long way to go to make money. Don't play with your cell phone and stocks all the time. You must learn to do things like shopping, clothes, art and tea ceremony. But when you marry into a rich family, you must be a well-bred young lady who knows how to do everything. Okay, Auntie. I'll try, Pudding agreed without hesitation. Huamin felt something was wrong with Lu Yan's words. He wanted to ask her something but didn't think it was appropriate to ask in front of the kids. When the kids weren't looking, Huamin took Lu Yan's hand and stood up quietly. They walked to a corner. Huamin asked, Yan, are you leaving? Yes. When? Huamin was a bit sad. She even selfishly hoped that Yan would stay here forever and live happily with her family. However, she also knew that this was absolutely impossible. Qin Chu had told him that Lu Yan had been playing around every day since she came here. But in fact they had already fought several times and killed several people. Lu Yan would never tell her sister these dark things because she knew her sister was a doctor who saved people. She was the exact opposite of her. Therefore, in order to take Huamin's emotions into consideration, she tried her best to show her positive side to her sister. After midnight, I'll take a speedboat to the public nuisance. There's a helicopter waiting for me there. So fast, sis, it's not like I won't come back in the future. Don't be like this. Seeing her sister's disappointment, Lu Yan felt guilty. I just can't bear to part with you, and so can the children. I know. I promise you that as long as I'm free, I'll come here often, okay? All right. Sis, you're pregnant now. You must be careful. You must bring bodyguards with you. Without me by your side, you can't act alone. You're a target for many bad guys. I know, Yan. Be careful. Take me to Sky Blessing Court later, Lu Yan said. Huh. Huamin was a bit surprised. I want to visit your adoptive mother, Mrs. Yang, Lu Yan said in a low voice. Chapter 3485. Hey, let's go in a bit. Huamin didn't say more. Putting on his coat, he left with Lu Yan. The two sisters drove a sports car without the twins. On the way, Lu Yan bought a lot of sea cucumbers, bird's nest, abalone and ginseng from a high-end nutrition store. She spent more than 100,000 yuan without blinking an eye. Yan, you can't spend money like this. It's horrible. You'll go bankrupt sooner or later. Huamin knew Lu Yan had spent more than 1 million yuan on the things she bought for her family. The twins had it, Qin Chu had it, she had it, the baby in her belly had it, and even Qin Chu's parents had it. Even if she had money, it didn't come from nowhere and she couldn't spend it like this. Sis, in our business we make quick money. A deal can easily cost billions of yuan, which is an astronomical figure. I don't want to mistreat my subordinates, so I give them 8% and I give them 2%. Even so, I still have a lot of money. To be honest, I don't even know how much money I have in my Swiss bank account. I'm too lazy to check. Anyway, I know that even if I spend 1 million yuan every day, I'll still have 60 years to live. I won't be able to spend it all until I die. But you have children. Shouldn't you leave some for your children? I don't have children. Don't scare me. I'm still a child myself. Lu Yan chuckled. You and Xiao Fei will get married in the future and have children. You'll have your own family. You have to think about your future. Huamin tried to persuade Lu Yan to return to her family. Sis, to be honest, let's talk about it when I'm still alive. Lu Yan smiled faintly. Her words chilled Huamin's heart. Although it was painful to hear, he knew Lu Yan was right. Lu Yan was young and quick-witted. She had a strong body, good fighting skills, and top-notch marksmanship. What about the future? She was only a human, not a god. Sooner or later she would grow old. Would she be able to deal with the dangers that came one after another? Soon they arrived at Sky Blessing Court. Yang Merong happened to be cooking dinner at home. When she saw Huamin, she was very happy. Mian, why didn't you tell me you were coming? No, it was a last-minute decision. Oh, this girl is... Seeing Lu Yan standing behind Huamin, Yang Merong didn't recognize her. This is... Huamin was thinking about how to explain Lu Yan's identity. Lu Yan said, Hello, Auntie. I'm Qin Chu's distant cousin. I came back from abroad for a vacation. Ah, so you're Chu's sister. No wonder you're so beautiful. Come in quickly. Yang Merong invited Lu Yan and Huamin into the house warmly. Lu Yan took out the shopping bags and placed them in the living room. Auntie, it's our first time meeting, so I bought a small gift. I hope you don't mind. These things are very expensive. You're so young and you're still a student. It's too expensive. Please return it. I can't accept it. Yang Merong wasn't a greedy person. Since Huamian often bought supplements, she knew the price of them. So she didn't want the little girl to spend money on them. Mom, since it's Yan's gift, please accept it. Huamin knew Lu Yan's temper, so he tried to persuade his mother to accept it. Have you two eaten yet? No, we're here to eat. Huamin put his arms around his mother's neck and acted like a spoiled child. Then I'll go make dumplings. The neighbor gave us some perilla leaves. I think dumplings are delicious. Then Yang Meong put on her apron and went into the kitchen. Sis, she's been very good to you these years, right? Lu Yan asked Huamin in a low voice. Chapter 3486. Good. Very good. I can tell she's a very down-to-earth woman. Huamin sat down on the sofa and picked up an apple to chew on. She's been through a lot. Her adoptive father died early and she had to take care of me and my brother. She also had to bear the name of Hua Jinghai's mistress. It's all in the past. She's living a good life now. The two sisters discussed Yang Meirong in low voices. In the kitchen she was busy making dumplings for the two kids. Soon the white dumplings were in the pot. It's cooked. We'll be able to eat in a while. Are you too hungry? No, I'm fine. Lu Yan chuckled. Mom, I'm starving, Huamin said naughtily. Of course you're hungry. You have to take care of your body and eat 2 servings each. You can't starve my grandson. Mom, is Jixin still at work? Huamin asked casually. He's off work. He drove to the countryside with Bella. He said Bella's grandfather is critically ill. Oh, I see. Hey, sit down and eat some oranges. I bought them in the morning market. They're very fresh. Yang Meong didn't remember Lu Yan's name, but she was very enthusiastic and kept asking Lu Yan to eat fruits. Thank you, Auntie. Lu Yan didn't refuse and sat down on the sofa with Huamin to watch TV. Soon the dumplings were ready. Yang Meong brought in 3 plates of steaming dumplings. She also mixed some delicious side dishes. Perhaps it was because the dumplings were so delicious and homey that she felt warm. Lu Yan ate a plate of 20 dumplings in one sitting. Finally, she burped in satisfaction. Yeah, I like noodles. I like dumplings, blunt noodles and handmade noodles. I've eaten many dumplings over the years, but none of them are as good as yours. If you like them, come often. I'll make them for you. It's no trouble. Next time I'll make pork with pickled vegetables and round onion and beef. They're all delicious. Hearing the girl's praise, Yang Meirong was very happy. Huamin also ate a lot. Then the two sisters drove back to South Hill Manor. Sis, I'm going to take a shower. All right. After a while, Lu Yan yelled from the bathroom. Sis, get me a bottle of shampoo. There's none left. All right. Huamin hurried to the storage room to get a bottle of shampoo. He opened the door, walked in and handed it to Lu Yan. Then her gaze paused for a moment, as if something was spreading in her heart. What are you waiting for? Lu Yan turned around. No, this is the first time I see you naked. Your chest is as flat as mine. Huamin deliberately teased her. Ha, Dr. Hua, you're so evil, amused Lu Yan giggled. Huamin walked out and closed the door for Lu Yan. She slowly walked into the study alone with heavy steps. Qin Chu walked upstairs from downstairs and saw that Huamin's expression was not right. Thus he hurried over to take a look. Sure enough, the moment the door of the study was pushed open, Qin Chu was stunned. Huamin sat in the chair with tears all over her face. Honey, close the door. Perhaps afraid that her family would see her crying, Huamin asked Qin Chu to close the door. What happened? Who bullied our vice director Hua? Heartbroken, Qin Chu walked over and hugged Huamin. Huamin leaned her head against Qin Chu's chest. She cried until Qin Chu's black shirt was soaked through. What's wrong? Qin Chu reached out and gently stroked her hair. Honey, I just went to bring Yen shampoo. She's taking a shower inside. Okay, and then? Qin Chu thought that Huamin must have seen something. Otherwise she wouldn't have cried like this. Chapter 3487. I saw the scars on her back. Qin Chu didn't speak. Instead, he gently raised his hand and wiped the tears off Huamin's face. There were so many scars on her back. They were so dense that it was shocking. Huamin's voice trembled as she recalled the scene from just now. Qin Chu had expected this. After all, Lu Yan had been fighting and killing for years and couldn't have come out unscathed. Not long ago she was surrounded by Ian and his men in a cold storage room and almost died together with them. Lu Yan is a mercenary and her job is dangerous. She fights with people, kills on missions and is even hunted down and on the run. She's bound to get hurt in the process, Qin Chu explained patiently. Honey, she's only 20 years old. In China, girls her age should be in college. She should dress up every day to go out with her boyfriend and hang out with her best friends. But Hua Mian couldn't help but cry again. Honey, everyone's life is different. Lu Yan has her own life. Even though you're sisters, you live in two different worlds. That's a fact that can't be changed. If only Mom and Dad had given birth to her. Then I could live the life she has now. But life can't be restarted. I know you love Yan, but this can't be changed. Honey, you're so smart. Don't you understand this? Qin Chu comforted Hua Min for a while and held him tightly in his arms. On the other side, Lu Yan took a shower and changed into her pajamas. Then she went to the twins' room and continued to play games with her nieces. At midnight, the twins fell asleep. Then she changed into a black windbreaker, packed her belongings and walked downstairs. It was already past midnight. At this time, everyone in South Hill Manor had fallen into a deep sleep. She didn't want to say goodbye to her sister because it would be another tear-jerking scene. She didn't like to cry and didn't want to be so soft-hearted. Therefore, she planned to leave quietly again and send her sister a text message later. Lu Yan left through the back door with her bag without alerting the security guard. The rest of the men picked her up and went to the pier. Hua Min stood behind a big tree not far away, crying silently. Her heart ached as she watched Lu Yan leave alone. She wanted to give Lu Yan a good life, but at this moment she realized how weak she was. It seemed that nothing could change. It's windy here, let's go back. Qin Chu took the coat and put it on Hua Min. Then he put his arm around her shoulder and went back to the room. Lu Yan left as abruptly as she had come without any warning. Suyu was even more clueless about the situation. And got up in the morning and sent a message to Lu Yan, but she didn't reply. The number he saved was the temporary one Lu Yan used in China. Once she left, Lu Yan wouldn't log into her WeChat account, afraid that her whereabouts would be exposed. Seeing that there was no response and mustered up his courage and made a call. In the end he found that he couldn't get through. Then he gritted his teeth and shamelessly called Hua Min. President Hua. What is it? On the other end of the phone, Hua Min didn't sound very happy. Is Miss Lu Yan there? She likes lotus leaf noodles, right? I found a new restaurant on Tianyi Road. Tastes good. I want to ask her if she wants to eat it. It's okay, she's gone. Hua Mian sounded tired. Chapter 3488. Anne's heart skipped a beat when he heard the news. She left. Yeah. Where did she go? I don't know, Hua Min told the truth. When will she come back? Anne asked anxiously. I don't know, Anne. I'm sorry, but I really don't know where Yen is. Thank you, President Hua. After hanging up, Anne looked as if he had lost his soul. What's wrong? Did you lose money in the bet? Suyu teased him. Lu Yan left. Left? Where did she go? Suyu froze. I don't know. No one knows where she went. Why? What? Are you mad at me, An? Did you run away from home because of a fight? Suyu didn't seem to think of it as a simple matter. President Su, I want to take the day off. Are you going to see Lu Yan? Suyu looked at An in surprise. No. I'm just in a bad mood. I want to go out for a walk. Then, do you want me to find a female artist to accompany you, Mr. An? Mr. An? Suyu joked. No. President Su, don't joke with me. I'm not in the mood. Then An got up and left in a daze. Suyu didn't ask further, knowing that this guy had a crush on Hua Min's sister. But it was impossible to think with one's toes. Suyu didn't know Lu Yan's identity, but he knew Lu Yan's personality. And couldn't control someone like her. They weren't the same kind of people. So Suyu drove to work. He and Xing Ro had WeChat, but they hadn't contacted each other since she left. Suyu didn't like to post on WeChat moments or like others. Xing Ro used to post one every day. But after she moved away she disappeared. Suyu had almost forgotten about her existence. But one day when Suyu was scrolling through his WeChat moments, he suddenly saw Xing Ro's status update. She posted a selfie that was taken during her morning jog. She was wearing black sportswear and no makeup. Although she didn't look as good as usual, at least she looked more comfortable. She wrote that she suddenly missed the mornings in Sea City. Xing Ro liked to exercise. Last night when Suyu and the others were at work, she would run and swim in the neighborhood. After Suyu finished reading it, he gave it a thumbs up. In less than 3 seconds, Zheng Ro sent him a WeChat message. Have you had breakfast? Su Yu didn't know how to answer. Didn't I tell you to eat breakfast? Otherwise it'll hurt your stomach. If you're too lazy to cook, didn't I buy oatmeal and milk in the fridge? You can use milk to make the oatmeal. It's nutritious and delicious. Yes, I didn't think of it for a while. I was too busy. If you're so busy, you won't be able to eat 3 meals a day. Zheng Ro argued. No. I'll starve to death. It's good to starve to death. There will be one less bachelor in the world and fewer bachelors in our country. Overall, it's beneficial. Sis, did you eat gunpowder? Why are you picking on me in the morning? So you didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Don't eat gunpowder. I drank dichlorvos. Su Yu, okay. Go back to your work. I'll keep jogging. Okay. The two of them chatted for a while, but Su Yu didn't feel anything. However, Zheng Ro had an ulterior motive. She wanted to get close to Su Yu but couldn't make it too obvious. On the private plane, boss will arrive in Bangkok, Thailand in 15 minutes. Do you have any plans after we land? With a military magazine in her hand, Lu Yen looked at all kinds of military equipment with great interest. She was leisurely holding a peach in her hand. Chapter 3489. I have plans. What plans? If I tell you everything, you'll be the boss. Lu Yen glared at her subordinates. Her subordinates were so scared that they didn't dare to say anything else. After the plane landed in Bangkok, Lu Yen and the others walked out of the airport. Lu Yen wore a human skin mask and looked normal. She blended into the crowd and didn't arouse any suspicion. In a hotel in Bangkok, young Master Chow, your father said that you can skip the meeting this afternoon, but you must attend the banquet. It will be held at the Central Asia Club. Amy stood beside Chow Fei. Chow Fei nodded and replied with one word. Young Master Chow, you look tired. Do you need me to massage you? Over the past few days, there had been one thing that had been very strange. Amy felt that after being with Chow Fei for so long she should get closer to him. But in fact she didn't. She was the same as when she was Chow Fei's maid on the first day. This master was hard to get close to. Amy wanted to get closer to Chow Fei many times. But he always ruthlessly rejected her. But now that he was finally separated from Lu Yen, Amy didn't want to give up this opportunity. No need. Chow Fei, did I do something wrong? Amy's eyes were brimming with tears as she tried to gain sympathy. Chow Fei stopped playing the game on his phone and glanced at her indifferently. Why do you ask? I feel like you're not satisfied with my performance since I came to your side. Otherwise you wouldn't treat me like this. Don't I treat others like this? Chow Fei frowned. But you don't treat Lu Yen like this. Amy blurted out in a hurry. Huh. Lu Yen is my woman and you're my maid. Can you tell the difference? Chow Fei smiled coldly. I'm sorry, young Master Chow. I crossed the line. Amy felt a little regretful after speaking. She shouldn't have been so impatient. Amy, if you feel wronged, you can leave. With your skills, you can go out and do some private work. You don't have to be a maid here. Chow Fei asked her to leave with a cold face. Without waiting for Amy to speak, Chow Fei continued. Of course, my Chow family doesn't need a maidservant like you. Young Master Chow, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way. I don't feel wronged. I've always admired you. I just thought that you were so good to Lu Yen. Amy was at a loss for words, not knowing what to say. Let's go out. I'm a little tired. Young Master Chow, Amy, go to the venue and give this to my father. Suddenly, a document appeared in his hand. What is this? Don't lose the family's client list in Thailand. Give it to my father and don't let Chow Nan know about it. Okay. I'll go to the venue now. Right, go ahead. Chow Fei waved his hand and Amy left with the documents. Chow Fei sneered and sent a text message. Chow Fei's father and second brother Chow Nan had come to Thailand. This was a big gathering of Asian gangs. The Vietnamese gang, the Golden Triangle gang, the Taiwanese gang, the Hong Kong gang, the Macau gang, and some famous gang leaders from the mainland were all present. Chow Fei's father was the most influential gang leader in Asia. He was famous for selling firearms and was the center of attention at this gathering. Amy walked out of the hotel with the documents and called Chow Nan. Mr. Chow, he just gave me a document. It's the client list. He told me not to give it to you but to your father. Huh. Send it here. Qiao Nan sneered. Chapter 3490. Hey, where you now? I'm waiting for you at the entrance of an alley in Chinatown. I'll send someone to pick you up. Pay attention to your text messages. Okay. Be smart. Don't be unaware that someone is following you, Qiao Nan said. I got it, Mr. Qiao. Why did Amy rely on Qiao Nan more and more? It was because she knew only Qiao Nan had the antidote for the drug she gave Qiao Fei. To please Qiao Nan and keep Qiao Fei safe, she betrayed Qiao Fei and went to see Qiao Nan with the documents he gave her. Chinatown was famous in Thailand. It was full of people from all walks of life. It was indeed a good place to meet people. Amy walked cautiously, afraid that someone would see her. After making sure no one was following her, she walked to the entrance of the alley. Before she could check her phone, she felt a pain in her neck and fainted. Bitch, I finally caught you. Lu Yan's subordinates were displeased by Amy's betrayal. If Lu Yan hadn't stopped them, they would have chased her to Russia. They wouldn't have let this woman live so freely. Amy, who had fainted, was stuffed into a sack and taken away. In less than a minute, another AI me, wearing the same clothes and looking exactly the same, walked to the entrance of the alley. She took out Amy's cell phone. It said, 100 meters ahead, there's a Min Nan restaurant. A man in a military green suit is sitting inside. Follow him. The password was, "Are you drunk?" After reading the message, the fake Amy followed the instructions and walked forward. Sure enough, about 100 meters ahead, she saw a small restaurant. The words on the plaque were clear, Min Nan Restaurant. Walking in, she saw a man in a green suit. He looked rustic and didn't look like one of Qiao Nan's men. The fake Amy walked up and asked tentatively, "Are you drunk?" The man's hand that was holding the beer bottle paused for a moment, then he raised his head and glanced at Amy. "Follow me." After that, the two of them made several turns and arrived at a small alley with very few people. "The boss is inside, you can go in." "Go in," the man said as he looked at the shabby house. Fake Amy nodded, then pushed open the door and walked in. The two men standing at the door were Qiao Nan's bodyguards. They were tall and burly white Russians. When he walked in, Qiao Nan was inside smoking. "The things in the golden triangle are so pure. This thing is really good, it's like a god." He had also just started smoking and there was no one else in the room except for him. Qiao Nan glanced at AI Me and asked, "Where's the stuff?" "Here it is." AI Me held up the folder in her hand. "Give it to me. Mr. Joe, can you close the door first? I still have a secret to report." AI Me said. "You two close the door and guard the door." Obviously, he believed AI Me's words. After the door closed, AI Me slowly walked over. "What secret? Tell me." Qiao Nan clearly didn't like AI Me either. "Why don't you look at the documents first?" With that, AI Me handed over the documents. Qiao Nan reached out to take it without any hesitation, but the moment he reached out his hand, a dagger was pressed against Qiao Nan's throat. "Bitch, how dare you threaten me?" Qiao Nan was furious. "Dumps, be polite to me. You're Yan." Hearing the voice, Qiao Nan realized who she was and turned pale with fright. Chapter 3491. The moment he said that, Lu Yan punched the back of Qiao Nan's neck and knocked him out. Then Lu Yan dragged Qiao Nan out. Before the two bodyguards could react, Lu Yan shot them. Lu Yan kept one of them alive. Dragging the unconscious Qiao Nan out of the courtyard, Lu Yan got into the silver van her subordinates had come to pick them up. "Boss, nice job. You're fast." It took less than 3 minutes for Lu Yan to come out. He was really efficient. Qiao Nan trusted Amy. He didn't know I was the one pretending to be her. Lu Yan tore off the human skin mask. "See? I knew this bitch and that bastard Qiao Nan were plotting something. I'm so pissed off. I can't let them go this time." Lu Yan just curled her lips. Her plan with Qiao Fei was very successful. Qiao Fei knew Amy wouldn't hand her over to his father. He would go to Qiao Nan. Qiao Nan had come to Thailand before them because there were many gangs here. So he was fearless and treated Bangkok as his home. Before the Central Asia Mafia Conference started, he came here to make money. He didn't expect Qiao Fei and Lu Yan to set him up. Just like that, Lu Yan caught Amy and Qiao Nan. "Boss, what should we do with them?" "Tie Qiao Nan up. To prevent him from escaping, give him an injection and give him a sedative." "Hey, what about Amy?" "Her. Bring her to see me alone." She's my old subordinate. I need to catch up with her. Okay, boss. Then, as instructed, Lu Yen tied Xiao Nan up and placed him under guard in a basement. Amy was brought to the hotel where Lu Yen was staying. This was one of the most luxurious hotels in Bangkok. It had 66 floors. Lu Yen liked to stay on the top floor because she could see far from the top. She had a panoramic view of Bangkok. In front of the panoramic tempered glass, Lu Yen was wearing a white bathrobe with a glass of red wine in her hand. She had been on the plane the whole day and caught 2 people. She was also exhausted. After taking a bath, she felt much better. Then the door opened and her subordinates walked in with Amy. She seemed to have just woken up and was still in a daze. Lu Yen put on the human skin mask and turned her back to Amy. You. Amy looked at his back and didn't dare to recognize him. Lu Yen turned around abruptly and was startled to see the face that looked exactly like hers. It's like you're looking at yourself in the mirror. But Amy knew that it wasn't a mirror. After all, they were all wearing different clothes. But Amy didn't believe that there were 2 people who looked exactly the same and weren't twins. After a moment of confusion and shock, Amy suddenly remembered. In the whole world there was only one person who could use the human skin mask to perfection, and that was Lu Yen herself. After all, Amy had been with Lu Yen for years and knew Lu Yen's amazing skills, so it wasn't difficult for her to disguise herself as Lu Yen. Boss. It's you, right? Amy stammered in fear. She wished she was wrong because the last person she wanted to see was Lu Yen. Very good, you still recognize me, Amy. We meet again. With a smile, Lu Yen tore off the human skin mask. At that moment, Amy felt a chill run down her spine. She knew if her boss appeared here again, she would be dead for sure. Chapter 3492. Boss. Is it really you? Amy didn't know what to say. Who else could it be? I just didn't expect to see you here. Amy forced herself to be calm. Do you think you're here for a vacation with Xiao Fei? Lu Yen smiled contemptuously. Young Master Xiao and I. There's nothing between us. Young Master Xiao loves you. Boss. I've been looking for a chance to set you guys up. Amy knew that if she put in a good word for her, Lu Yen might forgive her out of pity. Hee. You're really stupid. How can you lie to me like that? Are you out of your mind? It's true, boss. I'm not lying to you. I swear if I lie to you my whole family will die. Amy raised her hand and swore. But wasn't your entire family exterminated many years ago? You're the only one left. So who are you swearing to? Lu Yen sipped her red wine unhurriedly and looked at Amy as if she was a joke. Seeing that Lu Yen knew everything, Amy was terrified. She dropped to her knees. Boss, I was wrong. I was really wrong. Kneeling again. Your knees are cheap and worthless, Lu Yen said. Boss, I know I was wrong. Please let me go, okay? Afraid of death, Amy begged for mercy without a care for her dignity. Then let me ask you, what did you do wrong? Did you betray your master or seduce your master's man? Or did you betray your current master by sleeping with Xiao Nan? What are you talking about? I don't understand. Hearing Xiao Nan's name, Amy continued to play dumb. Don't play dumb, it's boring here. Amy, you've been with me for a few years now. If it wasn't for my employer's double insurance, you would have been killed by the target. Would you still be alive? Humans must have a conscience. When I saved you, I didn't expect you to repay me with anything. You insisted on following me and becoming my maidservant. Outsiders who don't know will think that you really know how to repay kindness, but is that really the case? Amy bit her lip, not daring to speak. You're just hiding under my wings because you've made too many enemies outside. I've never mistreated you in the past few years. I've also transferred all the missions you've carried out into your account. I won't let you complete the dangerous missions alone. I'll give you an assistant. Over the past few years, you should at least have 200 million yuan, right? Boss, shut up and listen to me. Lu Yen glanced at her face coldly. Alright, go ahead, boss. You've been eating and drinking in my place. You even instigated 2 members to leave. Of course, I don't blame you. Even if you didn't do that, they wouldn't have stayed for long. You took my money and were protected by our organization. Now you're trying to steal my man and collude with that bastard Xiao Nan to betray your master. You're such a disloyal and ungrateful person. If you lived in the ancient times, wouldn't you be hacked into pieces? Yes, boss. I was blinded by greed. Now I've thought it through. No matter what I do, young Master Qiao won't like me. As for Qiaonan, he threatened me. Really? Should I bring Qiaonan up here to confront you? Hearing Lu Yan's words, Amy was dumbfounded. Did it mean Qiaonan was also captured by Lu Yan? Chapter 3493. Amy suddenly understood that Lu Yan wouldn't disguise herself as her for no reason. She must have used her appearance to trick Qiaonan. At this thought, Amy's face turned pale with fright. Boss, Qiaonan is a despicable person. You can't just listen to him. I've been with young Master Qiao for a long time and I've served him with all my heart. Really? Then I'll call Qiao Fei in and ask him. Then Lu Yan pressed a button and the people outside opened the door immediately. Qiao Fei was resting in the room next door. Seeing Qiao Fei enter, Amy immediately ran up to him. Young Master Qiao, help me. Help me. Help me beg boss for mercy. She'll only listen to you. Amy wept. Qiao Fei kicked Amy's hand away in disdain. He looked up at Lu Yan. Even an outsider can tell you don't like me, but you don't want to admit it. Damn it. You're here to verify my statement, not to force me to confess my love. Get to the point. Lu Yan was exasperated. Qiao Fei walked over slowly and sat down on the sofa beside Lu Yan. You said you're loyal to me. Then why did Qiaonan ask you to drug me? Amy's body shook. Sure enough. They knew everything. They even knew about the medicine. Qiaonan forced me to do it. He said if I didn't do it, he'd have other ways to deal with you. Young Master Qiao, I was worried about your safety, so, at this point Amy did not dare to continue. So you drugged my coffee. Do you know what the drug does? Qiao Fei continued to ask. Qiaonan said it's only temporary and you won't be in any danger, Amy said confidently. Whoa, you believe Qiaonan? You've been with Lu Yan for years but you're still so stupid. I'm impressed. Qiao Fei took out a packet of powder and tossed it on the floor. Qiaonan gave you this, right? Yes. That's it. Amy nodded, not daring to lie. Do you know the consequences of taking this drug? Qiao Fei asked her. Amy shook her head. This medicine will cause abdominal pain at first, then it will become excruciating pain. After 3 months it will begin to fester and the intestines will rot. No, impossible. Amy looked at him in shock. But the good thing is I never took the drug. The cup of coffee you drugged ended up in your stomach. Qiao Fei said it casually but Amy was completely dumbfounded. He went from kneeling to sitting on the ground. Can't be, how could it be? Qiaonan has always wanted me dead. You just happened to be used by him. So don't keep saying that you're good to me. After all, everything you've done is harmful to me. I'm not. How could this be? After Amy learned the truth, she was completely dumbfounded. He seemed to have no time to digest the fact that he had drunk the poisoned coffee. Lu Yan took out a pistol and tossed it to Amy. I'll give you one last chance. If you commit suicide, the grudge between us will be resolved. Boss, no. I don't want to die. But you've been poisoned for more than a month. Soon your intestines will rot and you'll die, Lu Yan said calmly. I'm sure I can be saved. Boss, isn't your father a medical genius? Ask him to make the antidote for me, okay? Amy ran to Lu Yan on her knees and kowtowed, begging for her life. Amy, I don't want to repeat myself. Pick up the pistol and shoot yourself and the grudge between us will be resolved. Lu Yan put down the wine glass and looked down at the woman at her feet. Chapter 3494. Boss, I don't want to die. Please let me go. Amy kept kowtowing but Lu Yan didn't move. Qiao Fei looked at her without any sympathy. Amy's forehead was bleeding from all the kowtowing, but Lu Yan still didn't let her go. Finally she stopped struggling and looked at the gun Lu Yan threw at her. She slowly picked it up. Then she aimed it at her head, she closed her eyes. Then she pulled the trigger. But the moment she pulled the trigger, the gun was pointed at Lu Yan. She wanted to die with Lu Yan. Even if she couldn't be with Qiao Fei, she didn't want Lu Yan to be with him. This was a twisted woman who had gone to extremes. But strangely, the gun didn't go off. Amy didn't expect this at all. It's strange, isn't it? I didn't put any bullets in the gun. I wanted to give you a quick death since we were once master and servant, but you wanted to die, Lu Yan said. Lu Yan, don't say such nice words. You're just jealous, right? You're afraid that I'll take your man away. You're not confident, so you want to kill me? Amy knew she wouldn't recover, so she didn't say nice words. Instead, she put on a different face. Perhaps this was her truest side. Afraid that you'll be jealous? You really think highly of yourself. Why don't you look at yourself in the mirror? Are you so stupid that your brain was eaten by a crab? Don't tell me you used to be my subordinate. I don't have such a stupid subordinate. Cut the crap. Since I'm in your hands, just shoot me. But let me remind you, even if you kill me, you'll still have a lot of trouble. Do you think Xiaonan is the only one who wants to deal with you? Amy smiled viciously. Whoa. Sounds like you know a lot of insider information. Yeah. But even if I did, I wouldn't tell you. Do I need your insider information? You're funny. Lu Yan was amused. Okay, let's stop the useless conversation. Yan, it's time for the next step. Xiao Fei glanced at his watch and reminded her. I know, Lu Yan replied nonchalantly. Amy was so scared that she immediately closed her eyes. She knew Lu Yan had always been cruel to her enemies. Therefore he thought that he might be beaten up. Fine. You chose this path. So be it. We won't see each other again, Lu Yan said. If you want to kill me, hurry up and do it. Amy was a little impatient, but her heart was filled with endless fear. I don't need to do it myself to kill you. Don't flatter yourself. I don't want to take out the trash myself. Lu Yan waved her hand. His men came in and immediately dragged Amy away. Where are you taking me? Amy struggled with all her might, but she couldn't muster any strength. Those who betray boss should be hacked into pieces and sent to hell. You little bitch, you've reached the end of your life. Don't be so evil in your next life. Then Lu Yan's subordinates covered her head with a sack and carried her away. Amy thought she was going to be thrown into the sea to feed the fish. After Amy left, the room suddenly became quiet. In the future, I really shouldn't have any more female subordinates. They'll be jealous of me. After all, I'm as pretty as a flower. Lu Yan reached out and touched her face narcissistically. In the future, when I'm with you, you don't need to have a personal maid. Then Xiao Fei gently hugged Lu Yan from behind and placed his hands on her waist. What do you want? Chapter 3495. Yes, Xiao Fei said only one word. Lu Yan reacted instantly and stepped on Xiao Fei's foot. Fortunately, Xiao Fei reacted quickly and dodged. Otherwise, he would have suffered a lot from this kick. Look, which woman is as violent as you? But don't you like violent women? You don't want cheap women, right? Otherwise, why don't you sleep with Amy? Sleep with her? I'm not that desperate. Xiao Fei's lips curled up. Don't they say men think with their lower bodies? Do you think I'll believe you? You must have had a lot of fun in Russia, right? Do you have a new Russian chick with big boobs and a big butt every night? Lu Yan teased him. Give me back the bulletproof vest, you ungrateful wretch. Ha, you're asking for back something you've given away? You're a jerk. Lu Yan laughed at him. Aren't you a jerk? You bully your fiancé all day long with a smile. Who says you're my fiancé? Do you believe that I can replace you at any time? Lu Yan turned her head provocatively and stared at Xiao Fei. If you say that, then I won't let you off today. Then Xiao Fei pushed Lu Yan onto the big soft bed in the suite. Before Lu Yan could react, he pressed himself on her. You shameless bastard, do you want to force yourself on me? Lu Yan began to curse. No, I want to make it happen. In your dreams. Do you believe that I'll beat you until your teeth fall out? Lu Yan waved her fists. Go ahead. Even if you beat me to death, I'll do what I have to do today. Xiao Fei missed Lu Yan very much. So, when they were alone in a private space, it was like Mars colliding with Earth. Psycho Xiao, do you want to be beaten up? They were about to have a close combat fight. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door. Then they both stopped what they were doing at the same time. Boss. Young Master Xiao should go. The arrangements are almost done. Did you hear me? I'm calling you. Xiao Fei looked reluctant. Be good, Fei Fei. Don't disgust me. She wasn't used to hearing Lu Yan call her Fei Fei. Alright, let's put on this show for the last time, okay? After all, we've been acting for so long. We can't let it go to waste. Lu Yan coaxed Xiao Fei. Then you have to give me some benefits, Xiao Fei threatened. Hey. Whack. Lu Yan kissed him on the cheek without hesitation. This won't do. It's not enough. At this moment, Xiao Fei was acting like a spoiled child in front of Lu Yan. Then I'll kiss you, okay? Then Lu Yan moved closer and put her arms around Xiao Fei's neck. He closed his eyes and gently kissed her. She didn't expect that when she was so engrossed in it, Qiao Fei would make an extremely obscene move. While Lu Yan was distracted, he reached out and touched her little bunny. Lu Yan's face darkened. Then, before Lu Yan could react, Qiao Fei ran away. Damn it. How dare you take advantage of me? Psycho Qiao, just you wait. For the first time in her life, Lu Yan was taken advantage of so easily. It was because she didn't have any defense against Qiao Fei. On the other side, Amy was given an injection and was thrown into a chaotic street by Lu Yan's subordinates. In less than a minute she was caught. The bitch is here. Catch her. Chapter 3496. In a private club, Amy was taken into a Thai-style house. The moment she walked in, she saw Qiao Fei's father sitting there with a dark expression. Mr. Qiao. Where's my son Qiao Nan? Mr. Qiao Nan? He's with Lu Yan. I'm telling you, Lu Yan came to Thailand. She's a bad woman. She kidnapped Mr. Qiao Nan. You better go save him. Otherwise he'll be in danger. Lu Yan doesn't like Mr. Qiao Nan. Lie. Keep lying, Mr. Qiao. I'm not lying. It's true. Bring Qiao Nan's bodyguard here. Qiao Fei's father looked at his subordinates. Sir. Qiao Nan's bodyguard, a Russian man who had just had surgery for his gunshot wound, was excited when he saw Amy. Sir. She took master away. Sir. The Russian bodyguard yelled in Russian. The bodyguard said it was her. What else do you have to say? It's not the truth. It's Lu Yan. She disguised herself as me and did all this. Don't be fooled by her, Amy tried to explain. Do you think it's a martial arts movie? Disguise? You're a vicious woman. As Qiao Fei's maid, you didn't take good care of her and even tried to kidnap my other sons. No. You've misunderstood, Amy explained in tears. Cut the crap. Tell me, where is Anan? He's really with Lu Yan. Go and find her. You're still so stubborn. Take her away and force her to confess. Don't kill her. Watch her carefully. Yes, sir. Hearing Qiao Fei's father's order, Amy fell into despair. She regretted not picking up the gun Lu Yan gave her and killing herself. Right now he was in a state where he could neither live nor die. No one believed her when she told the truth. Lu Yan's disguise skills were superb. Qiao Fei's father hadn't seen it with his own eyes and didn't believe her. Now Amy understood why Lu Yan didn't throw her into the sea to feed the fish. Instead he directly threw her on the streets so that the Qiao family could catch her. Qiao Nan's disappearance was a big deal. Qiao Nan was in charge of many of the Qiao family's businesses now. Many of the new customers were Qiao Nan's friends, so the old patriarch had to use his son to introduce them. But now that the party had arrived, Qiao Nan was nowhere to be found. Later, Qiao Nan's bodyguard escaped and told her that he was attacked by Qiao Fei's bodyguard. Walking out of the house, Qiao Fei's father felt his chest tighten. Where's Fei? Third young master has been resting in the hotel. Tell him to come see me. All right. 15 minutes later, Qiao Fei's car slowly entered the club. Qiao Fei seemed to have expected that he would be summoned by his father. Father. Your maidservant kidnapped your second brother, did you know that? It happened not long ago. Father, you can't be suspecting me, right? If it were me, I wouldn't be so stupid as to use my maid. Of course I know it has nothing to do with you, but who is this woman working for now? Is she one of Lu Yan's spies? Qiao Fei's father seemed to be very prejudiced against Lu Yan. What does it have to do with Yan? Qiao Fei obviously wanted to protect her. Where's the file I asked for? I asked Amy to send it to you. What? You didn't get it? Qiao Fei asked deliberately. What? You asked Amy to send it to me? Qiao Fei's father was surprised. Yeah, I gave it to her. Nonsense. Qiao Fei's father was even angrier when he heard this. He didn't expect this woman to cause such trouble. In a basement, a cup of cold water woke Qiao Nan up. What he saw was an extremely exquisite face. Wake up, the honorable second young master Qiao. Lu Yan's sweet smile made Qiao Nan shiver. Chapter 3497. Are you surprised? Lu Yan looked at Qiao Nan with a smile. Lu Yan, you're getting prettier and prettier. Qiao Nan forced a smile, but it was uglier than crying. Don't think I'll let you go just because you flatter me. Of course I don't. But even if you lock me up, what can you do? You don't dare to kill me. Qiao Nan smiled smugly. Why can't I kill you? Lu Yen had a green bristlecone in her mouth and her eyes were smiling. Because you want to be with my brother, Qiao Fei, so you can't kill me. If my father finds out, you'll never be with Qiao Fei unless you're just playing with him. What kind of bullshit logic is that? Oh, now that I've caught you, you're scared and now you say you're Qiao Fei's brother? What about everything you did to him before? What about it? What about the drug you instigated Amy to put in his coffee? You always say he's not a good brother, but are you a good brother? Why do you think you're the only bitch in the world? Does your father know you're such a bastard? Lu Yen rarely scolded people so many times, but the scumbag Qiao Nan really pissed her off this time. Since you know about the drug, you should treat me well. Otherwise, Qiao Fei's intestines will rot if you don't get the antidote. You idiot, don't you know Qiao Fei didn't take the drug? What? He didn't take it? Qiao Nan was shocked. Do you think he's as stupid as you are? Let me tell you, Amy took the drug. Qiao Nan didn't know what was going on. He didn't know if Amy did it on purpose. You think you're smart, but you don't know it's all under our control. Hee. Now I know why Qiao Fei likes you. Qiao Nan sneered. Lu Yen didn't speak, she just looked at him. That scheming little brother of mine. On the surface, he doesn't seem to be interested in anything. He doesn't even take care of the family business. But in fact, he has already planned all of this in his heart. With such a capable wife like you, anyone who marries you will be a capable assistant. If you think that he truly loves you, then you are too naive. The only person he loves is himself. The moment Qiao Nan finished his words, Lu Yen slapped him hard. You're still trying to drive a wedge between us? I won't let you say one bad word about Qiao Fei. You can't understand him. You're corrupted by power and money. You. Do you think you can sit back and relax by locking me up like this? Bangkok is only so big. Someone will come and save me. Qiao Nan seemed quite confident. Really? Then let's wait and see who can save him from my hands. But you caught me for another reason, right? Qiao Nan turned his head. Lu Yen wouldn't catch him for no reason. If she wanted to kill him, she wouldn't have waited until now. At least your pig brain is still a little smart. Lin Fan sneered. Lu Yen stood up nonchalantly. Qiao Nan looked at the woman in front of him. She was a woman who scared many gangs. I want to know who you're working with. Who can't wait to catch me other than Ian? You know, Qiao Nan was surprised. What do you think? Lu Yen smiled coldly. Chapter 3498. On the other hand, the twins woke up in the morning and didn't see Lu Yen at breakfast. Then Little Bean got up and was about to go upstairs. Little Bean, where are you going? Huamin stopped her. I'm going to wake Auntie up for breakfast. If she's not busy today, I want her to take me and my sister skating and eating ice cream. It's okay, Little Bean. Your auntie left. Huamin was really disappointed when he said this. Left? Where did she go? Little Bean was confused. She left here. Then, when will she come back? She didn't say. Your auntie has her own things to do, Huamin explained patiently. Pudding was eating a sandwich when she heard that her auntie had left. She immediately lost her mood and put down the food in her hand with a sad face. 3 seconds later, Little Bean burst into tears. Then she ran upstairs while crying. I don't believe it. Mommy and Auntie must have colluded to lie to me and my sister. I don't believe it. I'm going to find Auntie. Little Bean. Huamin got up. Qin Chu immediately pressed down on her shoulder. You're pregnant. It's not convenient for you to walk upstairs and downstairs. I'll go see her. Then Qin Chu turned around and followed Little Bean upstairs. Little Bean ran to the door of Lu Yan's room. She pushed the door open and shouted, Auntie, you lazy bug, it's time to get up. However, she found that there was no one inside. The bed was extremely clean, as if no one had lived there before. She looked around and found Lu Yan's belongings were all gone. Little Bean felt sad and cried even harder. Auntie, where are you? Don't hide. I don't like playing hide and seek so early in the morning. Come out or I'll cry in front of you. At this moment, Qin Chu had already come up behind Little Bean. He squatted down and picked her up. He gently wiped her tears. Little Bean, Auntie is home. Auntie came to our house just to visit. She won't stay here forever. You have to accept this fact. I know, but if she's leaving, shouldn't she say goodbye? Little Bean felt that her auntie's departure was very sudden and unexpected. He couldn't accept it. Auntie had something urgent to deal with. Something happened to her business overseas, so she had to leave last night. You and Pudding were sleeping at that time. In order not to disturb your rest, Auntie didn't say goodbye to you, but she told us to pass the message to you. Really? Little Bean asked skeptically. Really? Okay then. I believe in Daddy's words. Little Bean calmed down after hearing her daddy's words. You're not allowed to cry. If you cry, sister will be sad and then mommy will be sad too. Mommy is pregnant with your brother. If you cry like this, everyone will be sad. Our family will suffer a great loss. Comrade Old Chin, now that you mention it, I suddenly feel like I'm very important in this family, Little Bean said seriously with her big eyes. Your status in our family is very important. What about my sister? Both of you are equally heavy. What about after your brother is born? You and my sister are still the most important, Chin Chu promised. Hearing Daddy's words, Little Bean felt much better. She wrapped her arms around Chin Chu's neck and began to act like a spoiled child. Daddy, can I not go to school today? I know all the things the teacher taught. It's a waste of time to go. Then what do you want to do? Play at home? Chin Chu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. No, I want to go to Auntie Lingling's shop and play with Bun. Buyuan has been sick recently, so Auntie Lingling didn't send him to school. Okay, Daddy promises you. Comrade Old Chin, you're so nice. I love you very much. Thank you, Comrade Little Chin. The father and daughter joked as they walked downstairs. After dinner, Huamin went to the hospital. Chin Chu sent the two children to Zhu Lingling's shop and arranged for bodyguards to watch over them. Before Huamin arrived at South Side to watch the meeting, he ran into an acquaintance, Shin Mingxi. Huamin, can I talk to you? Shin Mingxi looked a little pale. It seemed that something had happened. Chapter 3499. Okay, come in. A long time ago, Huamin had little contact with Shin Mingxi because of Hu Yanyan. Not only her but also Su Yu, Tang Chuan and Wei Liao. Shin Mingxi, once one of the famous four princes of Sea City, had been isolated by the other three. Even though their relationship had eased a lot, they were not as close as they used to be. Of course, Su Yu still had feelings for him, but Shin Mingxi was in a bad mood and didn't want to hang out with Su Yu. Secondly, Wei Liao didn't like him. After entering Huamin's office, Huamin poured him a glass of water and changed into his white coat. Huamin sat on the office chair while Shin Mingxi sat on the sofa. Young Master Shin, I have a meeting later. We've known each other for so long, just say what you want to say. Okay, I don't want to take up too much of Dr. Hu's time, so I'll just say it. Hu Yanyan, she wants to see you. See me? Huamin seemed surprised. Yes, she's not in good spirits there. Hasn't she always been like that? Doesn't a mental patient have to stay in a mental hospital? Huamin thought it was reasonable. No, I'm talking about her diet. Although she used to have a bad temper and often scolded people and threw things, at least she could still eat. In the past half a month she hasn't been eating much. She doesn't even drink water and doesn't sleep. She's lost a lot of weight. The treatment center wants her family to go over and have a talk with her. You know, she doesn't have any family now. They called me and I went over last night. It's rare that she didn't scold me, curse me or ask about Tian Tian. She just said a few words to me calmly. Before I left, she suddenly told me that she wanted to see you. Oh, I see. Huamin fell into deep thought after hearing what Lin Fan said. Of course, my request is a bit presumptuous. I'm just passing on her message. She has done so many heinous things and it's not enough for you to forgive her. If you don't want to go, it's fine. I'm just here to tell her. I understand, young Master Shin. I know how you feel. All right then, I won't disturb you any further. All right. After briefly explaining the purpose of his visit, Shin Mingxi stood up and left. Huamin's mind was in a mess. Hu Yanyan's existence was like Hu Xiqian's. His actions were unforgivable, but he couldn't kill him with his own hands. Therefore they could only leave them in one place and no one cared about them. Gradually they would withdraw from their circle of life. Huamin had thought that Hu Yanyan would spend the rest of her life in that mental hospital. Chin Chu and Gao Ran had said more than once that they wouldn't let Hu Yanyan out because it was too dangerous. Shin Mingxi was the only one who visited Hu Yanyan. Later on, in order to get back together with Wei Ying, Shen Mingxi rarely visited Hu Yanyan. But he would send people to deliver money, food, clothes and necessities to her. After all, they had been together once and Shen Mingxi hadn't completely abandoned her. In this regard, Shen Mingxi had done a good job. He had done everything he could. Hu Min went to the morning meeting with mixed feelings. When he came back from the meeting, he saw Lady Su coming to work. Hu Min. Lady Su was especially affectionate whenever she saw Hu Min. Mrs. Su. Hu Min smiled. Come. Look at this girl. What do you think? Lady Su took out a photo from her pocket. The girl in the photo had big eyes and an oval face. She was very beautiful and young. She's really good. This is. Chapter 3500. Seeing Hu Min's question, Lady Su immediately explained. A distant relative recommended her to me. She said she's her sister's daughter from the capital city dance academy. Look at her figure and face. She's beautiful. Hu Min praised her sincerely. Do you think you will like her? I don't know. Seeing that Hu Min was recommending her to Su Yu, Hu Min didn't dare to give a direct answer. After Zheng Ro left, you began to live as a bachelor again. That won't do. I told my relative that this girl just graduated this summer and hasn't found a job yet. I plan to send her to Yu's company as a trainee. You want to enter the entertainment industry? Hu Min was surprised. Lord Su had said that he wouldn't find a granddaughter-in-law in the entertainment industry. Well, I just want to get close to you. Being an actress is just a cover. I don't plan to debut or take any commercial performances. Oh. In that case, it's not a bad idea. Hu Min nodded, thinking it was a good idea. Mian, you're smart. Think of a plan for Auntie to tell you. You know Yu's temper. He always talks about this and doesn't communicate with us properly. He won't agree if I tell him my intention. So, how am I going to send this girl in? Send her to Imperial Star. Lady Su nodded. Why don't you let the girl apply for the job herself? After all, their company hires actors all year round. No. It's too difficult for her to apply. She might fail. Then, why don't you talk to the HR department and give them the green light? Give them the green light? Hu Mian asked. I can't do that either. In order to prevent those people from bending the law and using their connections to get in, Yu has already changed the HR department to an impartial female director. She's very capable and won't give me face. If she reports this to you, all my efforts will be in vain. You're right. Then what should we do? Hu Min couldn't think of a good idea. Mian, I have a request. Please speak, Auntie. How about this? I heard that you have a younger sister who came back from abroad, and you were the ones who took care of her. As long as it's about you, Yu is very happy to do it. So, can you tell Yu that this girl is a distant relative of yours and ask him to make an exception and let her in through the back door? I don't think that's a good idea. If Su Yu finds out, Hu Min didn't think it was a good idea to lie. It's okay. If he finds out, I'll take responsibility. Lady Su patted her chest and promised. Hu Min suddenly understood that Lady Su wanted to make use of Su Yu's feelings for her to arrange a place for this girl that was prepared for Su Yu. Although it was a little uncomfortable, Hu Min didn't want to lie to his friends. However, he could never refuse Aunt Su's requests. Firstly, she owed Su Yu a great deal and saved her life. Secondly, if Hu Min refused, Aunt Su would misunderstand that he had selfish motives and didn't want Su Yu to find a girlfriend. Many girls nowadays had that mentality. When they had a boyfriend and other boys liked them, they wouldn't directly reject them. Instead, they would keep them hanging. Every time a boy wanted to give up, they would give him a little hope. This kind of person was known as a scumbag. Hu Min didn't want to be misunderstood by Aunt Su as a scumbag. She also sincerely hoped that Su Yu would have a partner. She didn't want him to be so pitiful when he was old. Therefore, although he felt that it was inappropriate, Hu Min still nodded. Okay, Auntie, I agree. That's great, Mian. I knew you were a good girl. Lady Su was extremely happy. Then she stuffed the girl's information into Hu Min's arms. Familiarize yourself with her information. I'll ask her to come to you in the afternoon. After work, take her to dinner with you and get to know him. So fast. Hu Min didn't expect this speed. Chapter 3501. Yeah. She's already at the airport. I sent a driver to pick her up. Hey auntie. We'll do as you say. Great. Thank you so much, Mion. Lady Su held Huamin's hand tightly, feeling indescribable excitement. Lady Su was more and more eager for her son to get married. In fact, it was also because Su Yu's childhood friends were all married and had children. His best friend was Wei Liao. Wei Yunqi was already so old. Tang Chuan, the prodigal son, had proposed successfully and was about to hold a big wedding. At Lady Su's age, it was impossible for her to have a grandson. So, even though she was smart and knew it was unfair to Huamin, she still did it. After returning to his office, Huamin was busy for a while. When he was free, he thought about Xin Mingxi's words. If Hui Yanyan continued like this, she wouldn't be able to live much longer. Did she want to end her life by going on a hunger strike? At this thought, it was quite sad. Huamin touched his bulging belly. He truly felt that he was living a peaceful and happy life. Compared to so many unfortunate people, he was living in a blessed life. Just then, Chinchu video called her. She quickly pressed the answer button. Honey, are you busy? No. What are you thinking about? Spacing out. I don't believe you. It's true. I'm thinking too much, so I'm spacing out for a while. Have you eaten anything? It's not noon yet. How can I eat? Huamin was amused. Didn't we agree that you'll have an extra meal in the morning starting today? Drink some milk and eat some bread to fill your stomach. Otherwise, what if you're hungry? You're worried that your son will be hungry, right? Do you think I'm such a patriarchal person? I'm worried that you won't be able to handle it. Qin Chu always knew that his wife was a workaholic. When she was busy, she would often forget to eat and sleep. I know, Mr. Qin. Yes. Then eat it now. He didn't prepare any food in the office. It's fine. I've already sent someone to deliver it. It should be arriving soon. Just as Qin Chu finished speaking, someone knocked on the door. Come in. Huamin shouted at the door as he video chatted with Qin Chu. Dr. Hua, President Qin asked me to order this for you. Just put it on the table, thank you. All right. The man put down a big bag and left. Oh my god, there's so much. How is this a cushion? I feel like you bought me food for 3 days. Huamin put down his phone and rummaged through the plastic bag. She found that there were freshly made hot cakes, osmanthus cakes, exquisite moon cakes, flower tea, fruit tea, hot milk, and chocolate wafers. Little Bean will go crazy if she sees these things, Huamin said with a smile. So, to prevent your daughter from going crazy, don't take them home. Just put them in the office. I can't finish them. I can eat little by little every day. No, this is for 1 day. You have to finish them today. You can't eat them after the deadline. Do you think I'm a pig? Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. You can take them out and share them with the people in your department. Qin Chu smiled gently. Will they be jealous of me for having such a good husband? No. Who dares to be jealous of the deputy director's husband? Wouldn't that be suicide? Qin Chu teased her. Honey, by the way, I have something to discuss with you. What is it? Hui Yanyan, she wants to see me. Hearing Hui Yanyan's name, Qin Chu's expression changed and he slowly stopped smiling. Chapter 3502. Who brought the news? Qin Chu didn't think that Gao Ran would tell Huamin about Hui Yanyan of his own accord. After all, everyone knew what kind of person Hui Yanyan was. Young Master Shen came this afternoon. Hasn't that man had enough of being taken advantage of? Is he still trying to be kind? Qin Chu's tone was sarcastic. Obviously, he wasn't happy that Shen Mingxi went directly to Huamin and told him about Hui Yanyan. Maybe he didn't have a choice. Plus, young Master Shen was just the messenger. Hui Yanyan wants to see me. What about you, Mion? What do you think? Qin Chu asked. I don't know, so I came to ask my dear husband. Huamin said coquettishly. Hui Yanyan must be in a bad situation right now. She's in a difficult situation. Maybe she's dying? Qin Chu asked tentatively. Yeah, that's it. How did you know? Honey, you're amazing. Huamin was surprised that Qin Chu guessed so accurately. I can guess it with my eyes closed. He suddenly wants to see you. I'm sure she's putting on a show to win the sympathy of a pregnant woman like you. Young Master Shen said that the clinic sent news that Hui Yanyan hasn't been eating or drinking much. Young Master Shen went to check on her and didn't think she was doing well. Before he left, Hui Yanyan suddenly asked to see me. So Hui Yanyan is a woman who knows how to find a weakness. You're a doctor and have compassion. Now that you're pregnant, you have the aura of a mother. Mian, you want to go, don't you? Yeah, a little. But Hui Yanyan is playing tricks on me. So I want to know what you think. It's not impossible to go. Hubby, you agree? Hua Min was pleasantly surprised. I agree. Wait for me at the hospital. I'll pick you up after work. I'll go with you. All right, it's settled then. Yes. Hua Mian hung up the phone happily. Mr. Qin always put himself in her shoes and thought for her. Hua Min was also afraid that Hui Yanyan would play some tricks, so he didn't dare to go alone. After all, she was a mental patient. It was not impossible for her to do something extreme. After experiencing the tricks of Zhao Qingya, Jian Tong and Song Yisher, Hua Min became more and more cautious. Especially, he was not willing to deal with unfamiliar women. Because she realized that women were much scarier than men. Seeing that her husband had agreed to meet Hui Yanyan personally, Hua Min felt relieved. Then he lowered his head and continued to work. When a knocked on the door and came in, Hua Min thought it was his assistant, Chen Jia. Jia, I won't be going to the cafeteria today. My husband brought a lot of food. Take some and share it with everyone. Hua Min didn't even raise his head when he said this. President Hua, it's me. Hearing the voice, Hua Min slowly raised his head and saw An in a navy blue suit. Why are you here? Hua Min thought that since An was here, Suyu was probably here as well. I have a personal favor to ask of you. Suyu didn't come? No, it's my own personal business. And lowered his head shyly as if he didn't know what to say. Do you want to borrow money? Seeing Anne's embarrassment, Hua Min thought he was short of money and was too embarrassed to ask Suyu. When Hua Min replaced Qin Chu to work at GK after giving birth to the twins, Suyu was there to protect her. And had been with Hua Min for 3 years, so the relationship between them was like master and servant. No, I don't want to borrow money. Then, President Hua, I want you to send these things to Lu Yen for me. And picked up a cardboard box and placed it on Hua Min's desk. Chapter 3503. What are these? Hua Min was puzzled. Some snacks that Lu Yen likes to eat. I found that she especially likes the nostalgic snacks from the 1990s such as White Rabbit creamy candy and traditional hawthorn rolls, so I went to the wholesale market to get them. I have to thank you on behalf of Yen. Hua Min smiled. You're welcome. Lu Yen is also my friend, and said shyly. Hey, leave them here. Yen will call me later and I'll tell her. President Hua, can you tell me Lu Yen's phone number? And mustered up his courage and asked. Although he didn't dare to call, knowing the number gave him hope. I'm sorry. I really don't know her phone number. She's the one who calls me every time. It's okay. Then I won't disturb you. Thank you, President Hua. After a few words and put the things down and left. Hua Min looked at the sealed cardboard box and was too embarrassed to open it. He put the box in the cabinet in his office and thought that Yen would call him to tell him about it. However, Lu Yen had been very busy recently. After catching Qiao Nan in Thailand, she had to lure the big fish out. Therefore, she completely forgot to call her sister. After finishing all this, Hua Min felt like there was something he hadn't done. After thinking for a long time, he remembered that it was something Auntie Sue had asked him to do. So he quickly picked up his phone and read the information about the girl Auntie Sue had sent him. Han Yueyao, female, 25 years old, graduated from the capital city dance academy. She was good at folk dance. She was 168 meters tall and weighed 45 kilograms. Her family lived in the west side of the capital city. Her father was a scholar and her mother was a middle school Chinese teacher. Her resume was ordinary and couldn't compare to Xing Rose. It seemed that the Su family didn't care about the identity of their future daughter-in-law as long as she was a girl from a good family. They could accept her if she didn't have a bad reputation. Hua Min, who always believed in horoscopes, checked the girl's horoscope and found that she was an archer. Hua Min smiled helplessly. He hoped that this girl would be able to interest Suyu. Hopefully Auntie Sue's efforts were not in vain. After silently memorizing the information, Hua Min continued to work and organize the information. When Lady Su brought the girl to Hua Mian, it was almost time to get off work. Mian, look, this is Yao Yao. Lady Su introduced her intimately. Hello. Hello, Sister Hua Min. The girl loved to smile. She bared her small canine teeth and her big eyes looked especially bright. Auntie, I'll go to the Municipal Public Security Bureau with my husband after work, and then we'll have dinner. Will we be able to make it in time? There's still time. If you have something to do, go ahead. We're not in a hurry. Okay, then you take this little sister around first. I'll call Suyu in a while. I won't go to dinner. Mion, don't spill the beans, Lady Su reminded her. I won't. I'll do as you told me. Okay, then Yao Yao and I will go find a restaurant. When you're done, we'll go and have dinner together. Okay, Auntie. I'll go now. My husband is waiting for me outside. They walk slowly. Don't rush. Okay. Huamin nodded. She changed into casual clothes and walked out carefully. Auntie, is Sister Huamian the girl that Big Brother Suyu has liked for a long time? Han Yueyao looked at Huamin's back and asked. Chapter 3504. You just graduated. You can learn from Mion. She's very low-key. Instead of answering Han Yueyao directly, Lady Su only said that Huamin was a good person and told her to learn from him. I know, but when you came, did your teacher say to talk less and do more? Obviously, Lady Su didn't want this girl to ask too many questions. I understand, Auntie. In fact, Han Yueyao wasn't Lady Su's distant relative. It was just that her teacher at the dance academy was an old friend of Lady Su's for many years. She was dragged by Lady Su and selected from dozens of girls in the class. Why was she chosen? First, she was good-looking and had big eyes. Second, her family background was clean and her family members were simple. Third, Han Yueyao usually performed well in school and was very popular. Fourth, which was also the most important point, this girl had never been in love before. She was so beautiful, but she had never been in a relationship. Her family was strict because her mother was a language teacher and was very strict with her daughter. Since she was young, she sent her daughter to a boarding school that only consisted of girls. All these years, this girl really didn't have any other thoughts other than practicing dance and wanting to be an outstanding dancer. This time, when the teacher recommended her, she didn't really explain why she came. She only said that Auntie Su could help her find a very good job. Moreover, her mother seemed to agree. In the past, she had always wanted her to stay in Jing City, but now she suddenly changed her mind. Han Yueyao didn't know much about the Su family. She only knew that Auntie Su had a son who had his own company. His name was Suyu and he was older than her. On the way back from the airport, she chatted with the driver curiously. She didn't get any useful information. After all, the Su family's driver was very tight-lipped. In the end, out of curiosity, Han Yueyao searched online and even browsed the local gossip forum. Only then did she find out that Suyu had liked a female doctor for many years. Moreover, the female doctor's name was very special. Han Yueyao immediately remembered it. She wanted to ask Auntie Su more, but her reaction was very cold. Seeing this, Han Yueyao didn't dare to ask more. After all, she was just a newbie looking for a job. At this moment, she still didn't know why the Su family had arranged for her to come here. In silence, Han Yueyao followed Mrs. Su in a luxurious car to find a hotel to prepare for the dinner party. When Huamin walked out of his office after work, he saw Qin Chu's black Bentley parked in front of the hospital. She smiled and got into the car. Someone is very punctual. Of course. Picking up my wife can't be delayed for a moment. Right, take a look at this. Huamin handed her a piece of paper with Han Yueyao's handwritten information on it. What's this? Qin Chu glanced at it, not knowing his wife's intention. After that, Huamin roughly explained Lady Su's intentions. Seeing that Xing Ro was gone, Auntie Su found another girl from somewhere, but she was afraid that Suyu would object, so she came to you. Qin Chu finished Huamin's sentence. Yes. Forget it. Although it's not very appropriate, we can't refuse Auntie Su's request. The Su family has done us a great favor. These were Qin Chu's original words. He had thought Qin Chu would be unhappy or jealous. However, not only was he not jealous, but he also said the same thing as Huamin. Excited, Huamin put his arms around Qin Chu's neck. Honey. Chapter 3505. What? Do you want to have sex in the car? Ah, you're so perverted. Huamin knew he said that on purpose, so he laughed. I'm not used to you suddenly throwing yourself at me so passionately. Mr. Qin, I'll make it up to you after I give birth to our second child. How? Didn't you say you want to have sex in the car? Huamin repeated his words on purpose. How can one be enough? I want 10, no 100. Do you think we're filming a movie? 100. Huamin pinched Qin Chu. The couple made some harmless jokes in the car. The car slowly drove towards Hu Yanyan's clinic. Huamin suddenly felt very happy. Qin Chu understood everything she did. Even if it was wrong, even if other people couldn't understand. He supported everything she did. She probably couldn't find a husband as considerate as Mr. Qin in the world. The clinic. This place was actually a little more high-end than normal mental hospitals. The facilities for the patients were relatively good. Hu Yanyan lived here and her expenses were always paid by Shen Mingxi. Gao Ran didn't like this woman and was afraid she would cause trouble. He especially told the people here to look after her. If Huamin didn't suddenly mention it, he would have left. Even Qin Chu had almost forgotten about Hu Yanyan. Qin Chu called Gao Ran and Gao Ran told the leaders here. When the couple arrived, the person in charge came out to greet them warmly. Mr. and Mrs. Qin, Director Gao already called me. I'll take you in. Thank you. It's no trouble. Qin Chu held Huamin's hand and let go. The couple walked to the innermost room. This is the reception room. Have a seat. I'll tell the people to bring Hu Yanyan out. Okay. Huamin nodded. No matter what Hu Yanyan says later, don't get angry. You're pregnant. Qin Chu warned Huamin in advance. After all, she was pregnant and that evil woman Hu Yanyan was capable of doing anything to hurt her. Qin Chu was worried that she would anger Huamin. I know, honey. I'm fine. If she's still crazy, I'll leave, Huamin promised. 10 minutes later. Hu Yanyan walked in with the help of 2 nurses. She looked really weak, probably because she didn't eat much. His entire body was extremely thin. Although he was thin in the past, he still weighed 50 kilograms. Now she looked like she weighed at most 70 kilograms. The flesh on her face was almost gone. She was all skin and bones. Huamin was shocked by Hu Yanyan's current state. Maybe Gao Ran had told him that he was afraid she would hurt Huamin. Hu Yanyan's hands and feet were chained. She couldn't move freely. Hu Yanyan's miserable state made Huamin feel bad. After Hu Yanyan came in, she walked slowly with her head down. Then she sat across from Qin Chu and Huamin. The chains were held in place by 2 nurses so she could no longer move. Mr. Qin, Mrs. Qin, please talk. Call us if you need anything. Pay thank you. After the nurses left, Huamin looked at Hu Yanyan and said, I heard you wanted to see me. Chapter 3506. Can we talk in private? Hu Yanyan asked. Her voice sounded old. Her eyes were unfocused. She looked like a patient who had suffered a mental breakdown. Qin Chu grabbed Huamin's hand and squeezed it as if to remind her that she couldn't. Huamin didn't answer. Hu Yanyan looked up at Huamin and then at Qin Chu. Don't worry. Even if I didn't have these chains, I'm still weak and powerless. I don't have the strength to harm Huamin. Didn't he tell you about my condition? He did. That's why I came to see you, Huamin said calmly. So can a man not be present when 2 women talk? Don't tell me. You can't even make this kind of decision? Is your husband that strict with you? Hu Yanyan smiled. You're trying to goad me into leaving. What are you up to now? Qin Chu looked at Hu Yanyan with disdain. He didn't sympathize with her at all. No, President Qin, you're thinking too much. I'm just a prisoner. What tricks can I play? Honey, you can go out first. I'm fine. Gao Ran said there are surveillance cameras here. Wait for me outside. You can come in if something's wrong. Will it work? Qin Chu was a little worried. It's fine. I know what to do. Huamin hid acupuncture needles in her cuffs. They had been soaked in anesthetic. She was no longer a doctor who could be bullied easily. Ever since Hu Xiqian brought back a little girl from the island where he imprisoned her. Even if there were 10 Hu Yanyan wouldn't be a match for her now. Therefore Huamin was confident that he would be fine. That was why he agreed to Hu Yanyan's request to talk to her alone. Seeing Huamin's insistence, Qin Chu nodded and walked out. Before he left, he reminded her to be careful. After Qin Chu left, Huamin glanced at Hu Yanyan. I've done as you requested. Can you tell me now? Where is Hu Xiqian? Does it have anything to do with you? I want to ask him if he's dead. He caused us to be in this state. I hate him. He's not dead. He's gone missing. He's not here anymore. Missing? Hui Yanyan looked a little surprised. You don't need to know these things and I won't tell you too much. Are you done? Other than Hu Xiqian, don't you want to ask about something else? For example, Tian Tian? Hehe, is there a need to ask? Is Tian Tian still my daughter? Isn't she Shen Mingxi's daughter? Hui Yanyan sneered. You should be glad that he raised you as his daughter. Otherwise, Tian Tian's fate would have been completely destroyed in your hands. Yes, I don't have the right to be her mother. I know. But what's done can't be redone. Even if you ask me to reflect on my mistakes every day and eat pills of regret, it's useless. So what's your purpose in meeting me? Huamin, I want to be euthanized. What did you say? Huamin was a little shocked. You're a doctor. I know your hospital has it. You have the right to make this decision. Whether it's Gao Ran, Qin Chu or Shen Mingxi, these men can't go against your opinion in the end. As long as you agree it'll be fine. Do you want to die? Yes. Isn't it better to die in my current state? Then why don't you die on your own? No one's stopping you. You can just hit your head against the wall. Why are you asking me for euthanasia? If you die, you want me to take the blame? Do you think I've become stupid because I'm pregnant? Do you think I'll agree to your scheming request? Huamin sucked in a breath of cold air. He felt that this woman was really scary. In China, euthanasia was illegal. Even doctors in hospitals weren't qualified to perform euthanasia on people. Chapter 3507. I just want to die. Then you should die. Help me. Hui Yanyan looked up at Huamin. Why should I help you? I saved your daughter before. Hui Yanyan shamelessly brought up the past. I'm sorry. You've already used up all the kindness I've shown you. You can't threaten me with this for the rest of your life. Huamin flatly refused. Huamin, your surname is also Hua. So what? Huamin raised his chin and waited for her to continue. You used to be a member of the Hua family. I'm Hu Xiqian's real daughter, but I didn't get a single cent of the Hua family's assets. I don't want to pursue the fact that you and Hu Xiqian plotted against us, but do you have a conscience? Aren't you saying the opposite? Who's the one with a conscience? Do you want me to die? Hui Yanyan's eyes were filled with hatred. You're the one who wants you to die. Don't you understand? Don't blame others for all your tragedies. That's the saddest part about you. I want euthanasia, but you won't give it to me. Fine, how about this? I don't want money or anything valuable. Just let me go. I know you have the ability to do that. You can arrange for me to go abroad. I don't need to go to places like the United States or Europe. I just want to go to Thailand, Malaysia or Vietnam. I'll find a way to survive and save enough money. Then I'll go to Singapore to see my daughter. Huamin, you know very well that I'm not mentally ill. Your beloved husband is just afraid that I'll hurt you, so he colluded with the police to bully me. You're pregnant now. Don't you want to accumulate good karma for your child? Aren't you afraid of retribution for being so ruthless? Hui Yanyan was emotionless as she said this calmly. Huamin knew that she was sober at this moment. Of course I know you're not mentally ill. You're just seriously twisted, Huamin said. It's all your fault. If it weren't for you, I'd still be the young lady of the Hua family. I wouldn't have become like this. I don't think we need to talk anymore. Seeing that Hui Yanyan was still talking about this, Huamian stood up and walked out. There was no point in this conversation. Huamian, either let me die or let me go. Otherwise I'll haunt you as a ghost. Hui Yanyan cursed him. Huamian didn't stop walking. Are you okay? Qin Chu hurried over to support her. I'm fine. Hui Yanyan shook her head. Go. Okay. The couple left the clinic and sat in the passenger seat. Huamin lowered her head as if she had a lot on her mind. Mian, don't be shaken. She's just taking advantage of your softness. Qin Chu tried to persuade her. I know I didn't agree to her request. You didn't do anything wrong. Bad people deserve to be punished. Honey, yes. I didn't agree to any of Hui Yanyan's requests. I don't plan to see her again. I don't care if she's dead or alive. Huamin seemed to have made up her mind. She didn't relent this time because she realized that Hui Yanyan had completely turned into a demon and was incurable. Okay. Qin Chu was pleased by Huamin's words. Then Huamin took out her phone and called Su Yu. Chapter 3508. Lord Su, do you have time? Whoa. Dr. Hua, what's your order? I'll treat you to dinner. Do you want to come? Treat me to dinner? Did the sun rise from the west? Don't make it sound like I'm stingy, okay? Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Dr. Hua, this isn't a trap, is it? Yeah. Do you dare to come? Of course. I'll go even if you treat me to arsenic. Sure. Mr. Qin and I will wait for you in room 808 of Xiangjiang Garden. You can come within. There are no outsiders. See you later. Hanging up, Suyu stood up. Go. We're going to eat rich. Eat rich? What rich family? Shaowen was confused. Vice Director Hua, who earns 1 million a year, is treating us to dinner. President Hua is treating us to dinner. Will Lu Yan come? And blurted out. Damn it. You have a magic wand. Can Lu Yan come? She's been gone for days. And scratched his head embarrassed. Go to the parking lot and get my car. Wait for me downstairs. Wait. President Su, you have appointments with some producers to talk about the new film. And reminded him. Tell them to postpone it. It's okay. They made appointments a week in advance. Then I'll go find them after dinner. Take them to Seductive Fox. I'll be there later. Okay. And knew that as long as it was about Dr. Hua, his boss would be more proactive than anyone else. Xiangjiang Garden Hotel was chosen by Lady Su. The whole hotel was decorated in the Chinese style. It was elegant and quaint. Lady Su left Han Yueyao here and left in the driver's car. When Huamin and Qin Chu arrived, they saw Han Yueyao waiting in the lobby. On the way, Huamin had already briefed Qin Chu on the matter. Mr. Qin didn't have any other thoughts. He just felt indebted to Suyu, so he had to help Lady Su. Sister Mian, is this your husband? Yes. Wow, you're so handsome. The little girl was still young, but she didn't have a filter on her mouth and was immediately infatuated. But even so, Huamin felt that he was quite magnanimous. It was better than having any thoughts behind his back. Let's go in. They'll be here soon. All right. Miss Han, Huamin said. You can just call me Yao Yao. Yao Yao, did Auntie Su tell you what to say later? I did. Tell him that I'm Sister Mian's distant sister. That's the only way I can enter President Su's company. All right, that's fine. Qin Chu and the other two entered the private room first. In less than 5 minutes, Suyu arrived. Qin Chu and Suyu sat down next to each other. Here, what do you want to eat? Don't worry. I'll eat whatever's expensive. Today I'm here to eat from a rich family, Suyu joked. No problem. Eat whatever you want. By the way, Lord Su, let me introduce you. This is my distant relative's younger sister, Han Yueyao. Huamin, do you dare to tell me how many sisters you have? Are you the 7 fairies who descended to the mortal world? We're not. Don't talk nonsense. Let me introduce you. This is Han Yueyao, a graduate of the Dance Academy. Hello, big brother Suyu. The little girl greeted him naturally. Oh. Suyu nodded and then looked down at the menu. Lord Su, I have a favor to ask of you, Huamin said when the time was right. Humph. I knew you were up to no good when you invited me to dinner. Who said so? It's a good thing for me, okay? Tell me about it. But I might not help you, Suyu said deliberately. It's fine. If you don't help me, this meal is on you. Huamin was smart. Suyu. Chapter 3509. Qin Chu, is it okay for you two to be like this? Yu was exasperated. I'll listen to my wife, Qin Chu answered without hesitation. Suyu and An were shocked. I was caught off guard, so I got to eat a bunch of dog food, Suyu complained. Sitting on the side, Han Yueyao looked at Suyu, Qin Chu and Huamin. The 3 of them didn't feel awkward at all. She was surprised that they could make such a joke. Hey, stop fooling around. I'm going to get down to business. Suyu went straight to the pig head. Dr. Hua, what's your order? Suyu took a sip of beer. Yao hasn't looked for a job since she graduated, so I thought that since Imperial Star is recruiting trainees, you might as well take her in through the back door. Of course, we're not bad. She graduated from a dance academy and is very professional. She's also very good-looking. Lord Su, you must do me this favor. What? Are you a female bandit? If you don't do me this favor, will you kill me? Suyu chuckled. Hey, stop fooling around. I'm serious. Hearing this, Suyu looked up at Han Yueyao. Indeed, she didn't have plastic surgery. He could tell from her facial features. She had big eyes, fair skin and big skin. Graduated from a dance academy? Suyu asked her. Yes. How old are you? 25. Han Yueyao answered immediately. What dance did you learn? Folk dance. Oh. Suyu nodded. Then why don't I dance for everyone? Han Yueyao was afraid that Suyu wouldn't believe her since she didn't have her graduation certificate with her, so she volunteered. No. Suyu waved his hand. Han Yueyao glanced at Huamin with uncertainty, but Huamin looked calm. She graduated from a dance academy. With such a good foundation, why didn't she become a dance teacher or open a dance studio? Why did she have to enter the entertainment industry? Why are you so stubborn? Suyu suddenly sighed with emotion. Han Yueyao was slightly surprised. She had long heard that the entertainment industry was a big divat, but why were there still so many parents sending their children into it? So much so that they did not hesitate to spend a lot of money to nurture him? Wasn't it all for fame and fortune? The current situation was that if a celebrity became popular, they would earn more money than a scientist. Endorsement fees were easily in the tens of millions. That was a number that many people could not earn in their lifetime. However, it was quite strange for Suyu to say these words. Of course, Suyu said that out of kindness. He really thought Han Yueyao was Huamin's relative. Huamin was afraid that he would be exposed, so he immediately explained, being an actress is Yao Yao's dream. It has nothing to do with money or fame. Besides, it's precisely because I'm worried about the unspoken rules that I'm sending her to you. Can you help me take care of her? Who would dare to cheat on Mr. Su's relative? Am I right? Huamin, you're really something. Suyu was obviously in a good mood. Holding the wine glass, he glanced at Qin Chu. Fine. Since she's your relative, I'll make an exception. But I'll make it clear that I won't spend a lot of money on her, at least not now. She'll enter the company as a trainee. What she learns in the future is up to her. If she can't act, don't blame me for not giving her jobs. No problem. Huamin thought that Mrs. Su didn't want Han Yueyao to debut since acting was too far away. Han Yueyao was going to be the daughter-in-law of the Su family. Thank you, big brother Suyu. Hearing Suyu's words, Han Yueyao was very happy. Will our company provide food and accommodation? Where will I stay tonight? Han Yueyao asked, blinking her big eyes. Chapter 35:10. It was her first time here and she didn't have a place to live. She was an adult and didn't want to ask Auntie Su for everything as if she was asking her for money. So she wanted to solve the problem of accommodation and food here. She came from an ordinary family, so she only brought a card with 5,000 yuan on her when she first came to the city. Her mother gave her 1,000 yuan for her living expenses and she earned the 4,000 yuan for her private tutoring. So she couldn't live in a hotel. If she stayed there for a long time, she'd go bankrupt. I'll arrange it later, Huamin said. After all, she told Suyu that she was his relative and couldn't live in Suyu's mansion like Xing Ro. President Su, where do the other trainees live? They live in the dorms arranged by the company, Suyu said. Can I live in the dorms too? Or I can pay some money each month, Han Yueyao said. Suyu looked at Huamin and didn't know what to do. I don't think it's a good idea to live in the dorms. I'll rent a room for you, Yao. Huamin was embarrassed, afraid Auntie Su would be unhappy if he neglected the girl. He wanted to pay for the girl's accommodation. Sister Mion, I'm not that precious. I lived in a 6-person dorm in the dance academy. There are better 4-person dorms and 2-person dorms, but I don't want to spend too much of my parents' money. After all, I've been in school for years and they've been under a lot of pressure. My parents are wage earners and don't have any illegal income, so I don't want to put more pressure on them. Han Yueyao's words surprised the others. Especially Suyu. He looked at the girl and then at Huamin. You don't have to pay. The dorms are free for trainees. You can live in the dorms arranged by the company. The conditions are good. It's a 2-person dorm. You can live there without worry, Suyu said. Wow. That's great. Thank you, big brother Suyu. You can't call me big brother Suyu in the company, Suyu told her. Okay, President Su. I understand. Han Yueyao smiled, showing her canine teeth. After dinner, she followed Suyu out of the dorm. Aren't you going to stay at Huamin's house tonight? Suyu was convinced she was Huamin's relative. No, it's too late. I'll go see Sister Mion's kids another day. I'll go to the dorm today. If I need anything I can buy it when it's dark. Yao Yao, it's too late today, why don't you go back with me first? No, Sister Mion, I'm really fine. I'm an adult now. Don't worry. Seeing how she was so insistent, Huaps was. Suyu nodded. He and An drove Han Yueyao to the staff dorm near Imperial Star. When Han Yueyao entered the dorm, she found her roommate hadn't come back yet. She tidied up her things and made a shopping list. She planned to buy some daily necessities. At this moment, Mrs. Su's phone rang. Yao, Auntie Su. I heard from Mion that you're living in the staff dorm. Yeah. How can you do that? I've arranged a luxurious 2-bedroom apartment for you to live in. No, Auntie. I've troubled you enough. I'm ashamed that I got into Imperial Star through connections. Don't be ashamed. Your homeroom teacher and I are good friends. It's my duty to take care of you. Don't be so polite. Auntie, I'll feel embarrassed. Yao, did you see my son Suyu today? Yes. What do you think of Suyu? Lady Su asked directly. Chapter 35:11. He's good. He's handsome. Really, as long as you like it. Yao, you have to find more opportunities to interact with you. Although he has a bad temper, he's still quite innocent. You're a good girl, I think you too. Auntie Su, I have to go to the washroom. I'll call you back, okay? Alright, go ahead then. Auntie Su, you don't want President Su to know that I was sent by you, right? So we should contact each other less in case President Su finds out. Hey, I'll be careful. Hey. Goodbye, Auntie Su. Before Lady Su could finish, Han Yueyao hung up in a hurry. Hanging up, she let out a long breath. Damn it. My mom didn't send me to the dance academy to marry into a rich family. Damn it. I was so scared. It was obvious that Han Yueyao respected Suyu's mother but didn't want to have too much contact with her, let alone flatter her. She was still willing to follow her own plan and be the most ordinary trainee. She wanted to start her career in Imperial Star. As far as she was concerned, she was luckier than anyone else. With Huamion's recommendation, she was able to enter Imperial Star. Did she want to be the young madam of the Su family? She didn't dare to do that. Sometimes she couldn't dream too big. He had to be realistic. At South Hill Manor, the twins were unhappy about Lu Yan's departure for a long time. Qin Ming took the twins out with Tang Chuan to eat, drink and have fun. The house was much quieter. After dinner, Qin Chu filled the tub with water and put it on the bedside. Dr. Hua, it's time to wash your feet. Just put it here. Honey, I'll do it myself. Don't. You're too clumsy to bend down. Let me do it. Qin Chu rolled up the sleeves of his black shirt. He squatted down and helped Huamin take off the thin socks. Then he tested the temperature of the water. When he saw that the temperature was suitable, he placed Huamin's slightly swollen feet into the basin. Honey. Huamin's eyes were slightly moist. Don't say such touching words. Save them for when I'm old, not handsome and ugly. Haha, no, I just want to say that I'm a little thirsty and want to drink some water. Wait, I'll go get it. Qin Chu stood up and wiped his hands. Then he went out to pour some water for Huamin. Looking at Qin Chu's busy back, Huamin felt that he was very handsome at this moment. Compared to those Korean celebrities, Hollywood superstars, and those little fresh meats on the screen, he was more handsome. Huamin smiled and said, sure enough, my husband is still the best. Diagnostic and Treatment Center. Hui Yanyan fainted on the ground again because of the hunger strike. The nurse went over to help her up. Just as she was about to inject her with an 4 drip, she grabbed her hand. Beauty, this watch is for you. I bought it for 80,000 yuan. If you sell it now, you can sell it for at least 30,000 yuan. Hui Yanyan secretly handed it to her. I don't want it. The nurse was terrified. Can you help me make a call to this person and ask him to come and see me? Please, I'll give you the watch. I also have other gifts for you. I won't let you help me for free. Also, don't let those bitches outside know about this. Don't tell anyone. Hui Yanyan's voice was very low. Because the nurse blocked it, the surveillance camera couldn't see anything. This is against the rules. I know I'll be fired. I'm not mentally ill. I was set up on purpose. Please save me. I'll do anything to repay your kindness. Hui Yinyan's eyes glistened with tears as she put on a pitiful act. In the end, the nurse secretly took the phone number and left the room. She glanced at the number. It didn't seem to be the number of Mr. Shen, who often came to visit her. You're tuning in to the Romantic Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.